Hey everyone, I'm Juliana. I'm the owner of the Evolution store here in New York, and I am coming to you today in the quiet morning hours before we officially open, just to give you a little peek inside at some of the new displays that we've been working on, and just to introduce you to a few of the products you may not have seen before if you've not visited us recently. So, what I would like to talk to you today is about a very special mineral called sandstone. So, I'm going to show you our sandstone display real quick. Here we go. So we have a lot of different types of minerals, and none are really quite as striking, I believe, as sandstone. It's 100% natural, and it really looks like a painting done by nature. So I'll tell you a little bit about it and some background information that I know. I'm by no means an expert, but I really, really love this material. So I hope that you enjoy learning a little bit about it too. So the first thing that you might notice is that there are two different types. So you'll see there is this sort of brighter orange color sandstone. This is called Arizona Sierra sandstone. And then there is the darker, browner type. This is called Kanab, Utah sandstone. And I can go over the differences between those two in a minute. Obviously, they've also been cut into lots of different shapes and sizes, so you can have a lot of variety in your collection the way that we do. And so the first thing to note about sandstone is basically it is what its name says it is. It is a stone that is made primarily out of sand. And the sand has been, from what I understand, this material was formed about 120 million years ago. So it's not a fossil, but it is, very, very old. And it basically happens when there's erosion. So, like sand from riverbeds and down mountains and stuff like that will sort of travel down into other areas. And then over the course of millions of years, the sand gets compacted into all of these different layers. And then through that great pressure, it becomes a solid. So instead of just being loose pieces of sand, it basically combined into a hard rock. And these darker bands that you can see are sort of a natural line of cement. And I believe that that is primarily iron oxide. So that's the main mineral that's in there. So it's a combination of sand and iron oxide formed over millions and millions of years through high pressure compaction. So that's basically what sandstone is. It's relatively light to the touch, so it's not a very, very heavy mineral, at least in a small piece like this. If you were to take a bigger piece like this, as a sphere, for example, then it does feel quite a bit more dense. And it's actually also a really affordable mineral as well. And it just could not be more beautiful. So a lot of people say that they look like scenic landscape paintings, which they totally do. If you're looking at this, you can see, like a sand dune, with a sun going over the horizon or something like that. It really looks incredibly beautiful, like hills and rivers and mountains. There's all these amazing patterns that you can see. Look at that. That looks like, like a valley or a canyon or a cavern or something like that. And it's all 100%, natural. That's how it was formed. It's not painted or anything like that. The only part, obviously, that is, man-made or that is modified by humans is the cutting. So, some of these pieces are cut from larger pieces like this. And some pieces are formed into spheres, which are really beautiful. Look at the side of that. It's just such an amazing pattern. And it feels very rough. Under your hand, it feels very much like holding a ball of sand or something like that. It's not that smooth, even though it's been polished. It does feel quite rough. And so sometimes they're cut into these sort of more rectangular sharp edges, which are nice because it also looks like a little bit more modern and kind of otherworldly. But then also sometimes they have these more natural looking edges, which is nice too. And you can see both sides are really attractive, so you can decide which way you want to display it. There's really no wrong way to look at a piece of sandstone. And then the other thing that I wanted to point out, so like I said, we have the sort of rectangular cuttings. We have the more natural, sided cuttings here, and then we have spheres. And then we have these pieces, which we call stand-ups because that's what they do. They stand up. And they're just these like freestanding kind of like sculptures. And let me move this out of the way so you can see that better. So it really looks amazing. And this is a natural piece. It really hasn't been modified. It's been cut, on the bottom, obviously, to make it sit straight. But otherwise, it has that natural hole in it. And these are just natural sort of formations, outcroppings from the earth that have just been retrieved. And you can see these amazing bands of, that cementing material that I mentioned. I believe it's iron oxide, and how that runs through the different pieces of the sandstone. And again, there's no wrong way to sort of look at it and present it. And you can see the amazing variety of different shapes and sizes that you can see. They all have this hole. I'm not sure why they have this hole. I wonder if it has something to do with, water running through it or something like that. I know that sandstones are really common in like aquifers and stuff like that, in the crust of the earth. So I'd have to look more into that. I'm not sure why they have that hole, but a lot of them do, which is just so interesting. And then we have little tiny ones too. So you can get little baby ones or bigger ones. We have a really large variety of sizes and styles, and they're really beautiful. I really like them very much. And we also have them with this one, the larger ones. They come with these little cork bottoms so they don't scratch your furniture. So that's nice. So you could put this on a table or a desk and not have to worry about that. Smaller pieces don't have that. Or I guess this one does. This one doesn't for some reason. He's a little lonely and bare, but that's okay. But yeah, so that's our sandstone collection. And you can see the prices are really quite affordable. You can get a piece for as little as $5 for a tiny piece. It's about the size of a book of matches or something like that. And then you can get larger pieces up to, this one, for example, is $30, which still is very affordable for these slices. And then the spheres, they range from 28 for this small size. It's about the size of, like a jawbreaker or something like that. It's kind of what it feels like. And then we have the larger ones here. This one is 89. And this one is also 89 as well. Look at that side of it. It's so pretty. It's like all stripy and banded. It really looks so organic. And it really is. It really has this very unusual feeling to it. And the one thing I wanted to mention, so I mentioned that there are two different types. So this more orangey type is called Arizona Sierra. This browner type is called Kanab, Utah. And basically that has to do with where precisely it's found. So the coloration and texture of sandstone can vary tremendously depending on where it is geographically located and found. So these are basically, different places that they're from. But then also, I believe that the Arizona Sierra has been heat treated slightly as well, which brings out more of that orange color. I think it would be a little bit duller if it didn't have that heat treatment applied to it. So that's another way in which they really are able to bring out this beautiful coloration on it. So I wanted to show you our sandstone collection. We have it all gathered here except for a larger piece in the showcase, which I can show you in a minute. And otherwise it's just a really beautiful type of stone that is very unusual. We're going to be doing free shipping with USPS for domestic orders this week. So definitely check those out if you want to add some to your collection. It's a very unusual texture and feeling to it. And then I'm just going to show you real quick our really big piece that we have mounted up on the wall over here. So that one you can see is really special. It's $249 and it is, the size of, maybe like a laptop or something like that, a large laptop. And it has a really beautiful pattern. It is that Arizona Sierra style that I mentioned before, and it looks just as if you're looking over, the edge of a sand dune onto, a valley or something like that. It's really, really beautiful and special. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed that look at our sandstone collection, and I hope that you will come visit us here in our store and check them out yourself, or check them out on the website, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.